All right. Hey, Mark, we're live. And
Hello.
hey,
Um,
welcome. I've been meaning to having this conversation with you for a while. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's great
Yeah,
to
of
be in touch
course.
with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. It's been a while since when was the last time we met in the I think we met in Taiwan. Was it
Yeah, it was the
in
first, I think we first met at the Luck Fest. But after
Yeah,
that,
so
you,
it's
you went
Tainan,
to,
yeah?
yeah, you also attended BMC, right? Bangkok Music City, if I'm not mistaken.
No. When
One in
BMC, I moved to US already. So we meet again. I think in the. Did you go
GMA.
to Golden Melody?
Yeah, I went. Yeah, that was probably the
2000.
last time that we met. Maybe in
Yeah. So that was like
2017.
no. That's
Yeah,
2018. 2017 was the Look Fest, and then 2018 we met again in the. And I remember we went out and eat at this restaurant, small restaurant somewhere in Taipei. And then
yeah,
2 months after that, I moved to US, and then that's it. I just lost contact with the music industry, with the boys and the girls and everyone, and I'm just busy, learning how to live in a new country, and it's been great. It's been 6 years, so I kind of now I know some tricks of the trade here, and then I know start to know some people. So I now have time to do this again because I've been meaning to have a some sort of media in music, but I want to have something that is different with others, which is our community. Our community is the difference, I believe, and so far it's been great. It's been working well. The traffic is very. I was hoping for fully American that coming that, but then turned out that for Orbis, for example, Taiwanese is flocking the website, reading his article, the article that I wrote about him, and then so does when I took Pi as a guest. The Thais are flocking the website as well. So I'm hoping for our Malaysian brothers and sisters are coming to see your interview here, which is, I think that's the goal because
hopefully. I
I'd like
don't have that many fans though. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is I think I hope we can help each other, like you bring your knowledge here, and then I share it with the audience, and then let's see if someone can learn. At least if one person can learn, then we make the difference. I believe that. So
Yeah.
somebody needs to do this, so here we are again. Thank you for being here, man. It's an honor. So, Mark, I know you've always been in the music industry and you've been here for a while. Tell me the story about how was it started for you.
It's a long one. Yeah. 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 I think people who know me
When
well,
was it? When was
uh,
the first one? The
yeah.
first the first that you can remember that
I mean,
you okay, this is my thing.
yeah, I started as just a music fan, like anyone else. Yeah, in high school, and then I first got into yeah, I mean rock and roll. In the 90s, 80 or 90s, and then always a fan. I've been listening to a lot of Western music. It was only until the year of 1998 or 99 that I got myself involved in so-called the music scene. Yeah, back then we still call it a scene. It's not we've not developed into like
Mm,
a music industry or music market. Yeah, so I started joining. It's actually a Chinese label. Yeah, a Chinese
mm,
label, and then it was formed in 1998. It was called Huang Huo. If you translate directly to English, is yellow fire, yellow fire. So from the name that you can
okay.
tell that it's kind of like yeah, kind of progressive and radical. Yeah, because
mm,
98, it's, I mean, as you know, our country, we went through like a big political like change
yeah.
because of the reform mercy movement. So me and a group of friends who are also music fans, and some of they have their own bands. We started this small little movement. Yeah, it's called Huang Ho, whereby um, I mean, back then we were really young. You know, we were in our mid 20s. We thought that we can kind of like change the world, you know, using like music as a tool, also, or as a medium
Mm,
to influence especially the Chinese audience. To kind of like accept the alternative, not restricting themselves to just mainstream music. Because back then the Chinese market is kind of like pretty much one-sided. I think it was literally controlled by the major labels and also the mainstream media's radio station and also dailies. You know, so most of the Chinese audience they listen to mainstream music or pop music like Canton pop or Bento pop from Hong Kong and Taiwan. And then we thought that it was kind of like imbalance. You know, I mean, not many people, Chinese audience, are listening to Chinese indie music, or back then we call it underground music. So we thought we want to start this movement to actually to change the entire music landscape, especially in the Chinese community. Yeah. Back then, because I mean, as you know, Malaysia, we are a multiracial society. I think for the Malays and the non-speaking Chinese, they're already very far ahead, and then they've been listening to all sort of music since the 70s or 80s. No issues with that. So what we want to do is we want to change the Chinese community so that they become more um, receptive and also acceptance towards non-mainstream music. So that's the reason why we started this small little movement. Yeah, it's more like a
so
label, but I think it's we call it like more like a music society because everything was like loosely put together. It's just a group of people, a bunch of people doing stuff. We are not that organized back then because we are very inexperienced. We started as a team that we have an agenda behind, even though we use music as a medium. So, but the label, I mean, as you know, anything that is progressive or radical or very critical, they're always very fragile at the same time.
mm,
Yeah, after the label was formed, like 2 years, um, I think in between, I mean, during the process, we also try our best. For example, we organize a lot of gigs, like using our own resources, try to uphold the DIY spirit. We don't have any like financial support. It's merely our own money. We put together what we have, and then we organize gigs throughout the peninsula of Malaysia. We go to many different states and cities. So we put up like some albums as well for local underground bands, and also we also import some albums from China. Back then, the Beijing underground scene was very like vibrant. Yeah, so we want to adopt the kind of aesthetic and also the ideology that have to influence the
mm,
local Chinese listeners. But because of this thing, people who are part of the society or community, they became very like conflicted. Some they just want to make music, and then some they have an agenda. They want to change something, this larger than
yeah,
life kind of a concept, So
yeah,
yeah, after a while, things became very like tense internally. So there are this clash of ideologies. So yeah, and then we went for a trip actually to Beijing in 2000. We brought two local bands to kind of like have like a cultural exchange there. So we book a few gigs, we stay back then. Beijing underground scene was like still very like still not very developed as compared to now. So I remember when there we stay in the farmers village, where all the musicians They came from different part of China. They stay there because the rental is cheap. Yeah, so they stay there. They rent a house. Their room is also the jamming studio, so they make music there. So they gather there. It's like more like a place to actually for the like-minded people. So we brought the two bands, and then we go there, and then we play a few shows. But after two shows, I think there were some issues with the two Malaysian bands. I mean, maybe because that was the first time they went abroad to perform to a different audience. They didn't get the kind of reception um, they were expecting. So it's kind of like,
Mhm.
and then because they're also very young, like just like in their early 20s. So they kind of like lost confidence, and then that's where the whole thing become like exploded. Yeah. So and then internal conflicts, and then we came back, and then we decided to disband the label. And then from there, I
Okay.
think I decided I want to move on. I want to carry on with this thing. So and then I started Soundscape Records in 2001. Yeah. So
Oh,
this is a
okay.
bit
So
pretty
so that
of how.
soundscape was born after. So this is your second effort, yeah,
Yeah.
in
Yes.
the
Yes.
in the in the. Okay, so I'd like to go back to the the late 90s, which I think there was a economic crisis in like global, like our countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, and several
Yes.
other
Yes.
many in Asia went like literally bankrupt,
Mm.
and we took down a dictator um, that we never thought that we will be ever successful. I had this conversation with a professor of heavy metal 2 episodes ago, and he was there during that time. So it was documented well that music plays part in those movement, the change and everything. How did you see your movement, either in like in the Chinese community in Malaysia, or in music community, or in youth community in general in Malaysia, affect those changes?
Yeah. I think it was quite contradicting. Yeah, because for the Chinese community, we were kind of extreme because we adopted this concept whereby something which is strange for them because they have been always been
Mm,
influenced by this cantopop and mandopop music. I mean, they cannot accept the kind of idea whereby we want to achieve everything via our own resources, the DIY spirits, the do-it-yourself spirits, and then back then we were quite critical. I mean, we have like yeah, a column in one of the news, the major dailies, whereby we write about music on a weekly basis, and then we share this concept of Western music, rock music. I mean, to them, this is something new, something that they've never encountered before. At the same time, they kind of reject the idea, but also they want to know more about what this bunch of kids are doing. So the ideas were like um, conflicting. There are a lot of what do you call that confrontations as well between us and the other part who has been promoting local Chinese music. To them, I think we were very like we were too like harsh, bringing up this idea and try
mm,
to overturn the whole Chinese music market. But for the non-Chinese audience, especially the Malay people, they kind of like thought that we are very like we have this ethnic pride that we want to promote the Chinese music only. As you know, Malaysia
mm,
it's the major population. It's the Malay, which comprise of
yeah.
60%. So the idea of promoting Chinese music alone for them it's kind of like not acceptable. Yeah, we had problem actually trying to cross over because even though the idea is to promote Chinese music, Chinese underground music, but we are always open. We want to have this kind of like exchange or more interaction with the non-Chinese music community. especially the
Yeah.
Malay. Yeah, yeah. At one point, we tried to have this collaboration with Joe Kidd. You remember Joe? Joe Kidd is actually the kind of like the godfather of the local punk music movement. So yeah, we went to see him, and then we have like a long meeting with him, and then after that we actually co-organized like a few gigs with Joe, and then together we brought together like Chinese and non-Chinese band, especially the Malay bands, and we did a few gigs. But during the shows, we find it very difficult to convince the non-Chinese audience that hey, we are underground too. You know, we are independent
Right.
bands too. Because I think probably due to the language barrier, or maybe to them Chinese underground music it's very new. It never exists. You know, I mean, at least for the understanding, this is something new, and maybe the kind of music that we play, it's nothing new to them. Because I mean, for the English and the Malaysian, they're already very far ahead. You know, I mean, they started this in the 90s. Yeah, they've seen it all. Yeah. So we have this problem whereby
Okay.
we're kind of like in between. You know, yeah, we're not getting recognized by the Chinese community. At the same time, we face hurdles. We are trying to reach out to the English and Malay scene. Yeah, at the time.
That sounds like really punk to me. Um.
Yeah.
Um.
Mm,
Right. Right. So.
yeah. Mm.
Um. I think. I think it's brave and admirable that you do that, because right now is way different, right? That situation, that different
Yeah.
racial situation is kind way different
I
at
think
this
I
time,
think
right? Compare.
people still believe in this ideology thing. To them, it's because informations are like everywhere now. It's so easy to acquire all this information about like, non-mainstream music. So people don't generally do not subscribe to this idea of try to be like progressive or radical or whatever you call it. Yeah, I mean it's just making music in general. Yeah, yeah. If I cannot
Right.
imagine if we were to bring up this idea again at this time, it's so hard and so difficult to actually to convince the young people that hey, we are at the forefront. We want to lead you guys to like a new new direction. It's just so against the time, I guess. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm, mm.
So, what's the so you have the learning of those challenges and limitations. So what's the idea of Soundscape?
When I first started the label, the idea is to carry on with what Huang Ho was doing. Yeah, still I still want to cultivate the Chinese scene. Yeah, so the first maybe 2 to 3 years was trying to because it's only myself, just me, one person. So I
Mm,
couldn't I couldn't have to cut down in terms of the my priorities. For example, in during Hong Kong time, we have our own fanzine. We have a monthly fanzine whereby we write about music. It's just a photocopy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We did
right.
our
Right.
own
Yeah.
design photocopy and then we distributed to the all the music outlets, and also album production, as I mentioned before, and regular gigs. But for Soundscape, because there's only me, I don't have so much resources. So I decided to just go ahead with organizing gigs. I kind of like stopped the producing the album, even though I still did like maybe I release a compilation at the first year. Yeah. And then other than that, I'll just do gigs regularly. Try to discover like more new artists so that we can carry on with this movement. But after maybe 3 years, I find it very difficult to actually to find Chinese bands. It's either they are not good enough or they are just not into it. Maybe because they got affected by the movement earlier on. They want to stay away from this. Yeah. Some of them actually they went to become like singers or musicians in pubs and things like that. Uh, just different priorities. Yeah. So I thought because it's so difficult to carry on with this movement, and at the same time there were a lot of non Chinese bands that came to me and tried to convince me that you should open up and try to embrace the non-Chinese band as well. So yeah, I mean, in 2003, between 2003 and 2006, there was a opportunity that came across because this alcohol brand saw what we did, and then he came to me, and then he wants to like work with us. So yeah, thereon we decided to actually to have like a bigger events. That was the first time we organized this music festival called Street Rock. Street Rock. It's an outdoor
2000
music
and
festival.
2003 to 2006. That's okay.
Yeah. So we worked with this alcohol brand, and then we created this music festival. So the concept is to get together all the Asian indie acts, yeah, to play on the same
Mm.
stage. Only like 1 day event. So we book acts from I mean bands from Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, Singapore, and some of the I mean including Indonesia as well. So the
At
festival
that
was
point, sorry, I
hmm,
at that
go ahead.
point you have team already, right? So this is
Yeah, I
still
already have.
Subscape, and then you have also you have team already. Yeah? Okay, so that's 5 years
I
is
mean,
the first one.
the label is still owned by me. Just that I will get a team to actually to help and support me whenever we have events. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So it's growing, and then it's bigger festivals, and then you still on the core of working with international artists, especially in with
Yeah, I
East
think that
Asian
was the beginning of
artists.
it. That was the beginning of it. Yeah, yeah. Booking
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
I mean, booking foreign bands. You know. But you see, but because we've been through this very like DIY and underground kind of movement, the process. But here we came to a point whereby we have to work with corporates. We have to work with
Mm.
like brands. It's conflicting again because this clash of ideologies. Because our thoughts were kind of like heavily rooted in the underground scene. I mean, you have this idea like anti-corporates, anti-establishment. In the nineties. So now you have a choice to actually to make something like bigger, something which is more impactful, but at the same time you have to juggle in between because you have to work with brands. Obviously, they have
Yeah,
their own marketing objectives, and then
yeah.
the brand values that you have to kind of like adhere to. Yeah, but I think at the time I kind of like convinced myself that if you want to carry on with this thing, you have to find a way. You have to strike for the balance. I think what we are lacking at the time was, of course, resources, if, like financially or manpower, to make this thing like bigger. Because the idea is to create like a bigger platform for the local artists to play, and hopefully they get noticed by the mass audience. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I decided to went for it and then to work with them for 3 years from 2003 to 2006. Then we created like a few like big events. Yeah. Because I mean promoting the Chinese scene is kind of like it's really difficult to be honest, especially in
Yeah, yeah,
Malaysia.
yeah,
Even though we are known as a multi cultural society, multi ethics society, but then all this while, I think they are confined to their own like music scene. There's not much of like crossover or interaction in between. Yeah, especially coming from a Chinese background.
Right, so where is the festival based? Is it in one place only, or you move around, or is it in
We move
Kuala
around. Yeah,
Lumpur,
we
or
move around. This year it
oh,
was
okay,
held at the. If you've been to KL, you know this Petaling Street, Chinatown.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We actually the first one was held on the street. Yeah, that's why we call it
Oh,
a
okay.
street road. Uh, so and then
Street what? Say
we
again.
built a stage. Street roar like tiger roar roaring. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yeah. So and then second year we work with a shopping mall like Times Square. Yeah. So
Oh, nice. Okay.
we have that event at the driveway in front of the shopping mall so that the public can access to it like very easily. I think the whole idea is to get more
Yeah.
people to involve, yeah, and not restricting ourselves to like a small, like a 100 capacity live house,
Hmm.
because we have been through that already. We have done that in
Hmm.
our first few years. Yeah, yeah. So now we
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
move on to a bigger platform and see if we can create something different. Yeah, or at least
Right. Right.
try to expose unearth the local underground bands. Yeah, yeah, in the
You
city, in the
always
city.
in the city, so you don't go in the mountain and then build something there. People have
No,
to go.
yeah,
No, it's always in the city, and right. That's
always in the
cool. That's
city.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the last one was held in 2006. The last one, yeah, the last festival was held
Oh.
in 2006 at the park. Yeah, it was at a performing arts center. So I think that one was one of the most memorable one. Yeah, in terms of the scale of the event, the production, and also the lineup. Yeah, and after that, of
Hmm.
course, I mean, you work with a corporate brands. I think there's a time limit to that, right? To the partnership. Once they out
Yeah.
of budget, or the brand change their direction, I think, I mean, yeah, they will just
Okay.
kind of like call it quits. Yeah. So
That's
after
2006. Yeah.
2006, yeah, 2006, yeah, that was the last
So
one.
after
So
that.
they decided, yeah. So the brands, the alcohol brand, that decided that they had it enough already. So they want to move on and try different things. But for us, I think we kind of like through the partnership, we are able to gather some like resources, both financially and also, I mean, the team itself has grown a bit, so we have enough capacity to actually to take on like bigger events. So in
Hmm.
2006, after the festival was kind of like um, slow down, I've decided to actually to bring international acts to Malaysia, to have, I mean, to create like a series of standalone shows for the international artists. Yeah. So it was really
Hmm.
difficult at the beginning because, as you know, back in the mid 2000, there are not many like touring artists that are willing to come to Malaysia. They always go to Singapore, always go to places like Hong Kong,
Yeah.
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 So to them, Malaysia is kind of like a untapped market. They want to explore, but at the same time, they also worry that whether um, the promoter that they work with is reliable or not. So actually, we have been booking a lot of bands, sending out emails, trying to convince them to come to Kuala Lumpur, and then but then not easy, not easy. It was only until I got to know a friend, a Taiwanese friend, who is based in Melbourne. So he helped me to book this Australian band called 33. It's an instrumental band. It's three-piece. They just
Okay.
came back recently. So one of the guys, the violinist, his name is Warren Ellis, is playing with Nick Cave now. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, this Taiwanese friend, he helped me to book the band. Um, they're quite popular back then because they play like some festival in Taiwan, and then I think their album was quite well received as well. So I decided to, yeah, go with them because it was through my friend, my Taiwanese friend. So the band decided to come because they were having a tour in Southeast Asia. So they agreed to my offer, so they came. But that was my first show. I was very like inexperienced. Everything is new to me. How to book international artists, how to sort out their work permits, how to obtain the entertainment license. Everything is like more like a learning process for me.
Hmm.
So at the same time, I was very ambitious. Yeah. So I booked
Yeah.
like I think a 1,005 capacity venue. It was called
Okay.
Rooms. It was known as KL Live after that. A lot of international bands played there. So I booked the venue and I put up a show with them. But turns out only I think less than 300 people came for the show. So it was a big failure, of course. But I mean they did really well. The band played really well. The people who came they enjoyed the show and then they thought that this is something new. Finally, we get to see some like um, foreign like indie artists. Yeah, yeah. I think for bigger acts already here, they've been playing in Malaysia because other promoters they're bringing in them. But for
Right.
indie acts, this is what is lacking at the time. So I kind of like the
Okay.
first promoter that brought in all these indie artists from outside of Malaysia. So that gig was kind of like a learning curve for me because obviously um, it was a huge loss. Yeah, because I booked a really big wedding for them. Yeah, but then from there, I thought that if you want to continue with this, then you have to start getting acquire all the knowledge on how to promote international artists. So I actually spent quite a bit of time talk to other friends in the region, like other promoters in the region, and try to get um, get more knowledge from them, yeah, on how to put together a show, a headline show for foreign artists. So I took about maybe about 1 year. So I came back and then I brought like another artist from Sweden. They are called Club Eight. I think they are quite popular in Indonesia also back then.
I think I've
Yeah,
I've heard. Yeah.
yeah. So I brought them in again, and then that year because I was more prepared, yeah, for that gig. So kind of like make amends for that, and then the gig was sold out. Yeah, I did really well for the show, and then we had like, I remember we sold 500 tickets for the show. Yeah, so it was a
Yeah.
very strong comeback after the failure of the first show. Yeah, so from there, yeah,
When
I
was
guess
this?
we moved
So it's 2000, around
2005.
2007. Yeah.
Sorry, 2007. Yeah,
Oh.
2007 or
Okay.
2008. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. So from that experience, try to carry on with what I've been doing because I thought that I kind of like acquire what uh, requires to be a promoter. I mean the
Yeah.
knowledge, yeah,
Yeah.
and also the tactics and strategies. Yeah. So I think the major breakthrough was 2008, kind of like the gig that took us to a different level. Yeah, it was the band from US, the post rock band from US called Explosion in the Sky. So we booked them
Okay.
like through the proper way. Like I worked with the agent. I managed to get to go in touch with the agent, and then yeah, we spoke about the offer. That gig was put together in less than 3 weeks. From the moment we announced to the show, it's only about yeah 3 weeks. It was really close to Chinese New Year, so there's big risk there
Hmm.
because it was during the festive season. But I mean, thank God we managed to sell out to sell out the show. The reception was really unbelievable. Yeah, within 3 weeks or maybe 2 weeks or so, I think we already sold out all the tickets. And then the band
So
came. They
what
played.
capacity is this?
It's about one
What's
thousand
the
and
what?
five hundred. One
Oh
thousand
wow,
and five
that's
thousand.
yeah.
So that was the
Okay.
biggest gig we ever had at the time. Yeah. So everything was perfect. The band came. It was so easy to work with, and then they played a great show. The audience reception was amazing. I remember that after the show, they had like a signing session. the signing session went like totally out of control. Yeah, people just not willing to queue. They just want to meet the band and have like photograph with them. Yeah, it was in a mess, but then in a good way. Yeah, people were like crazy and insane, but then because yeah, the love towards the band. Yeah, yeah. So from
Right.
there, we kind of
Right.
like set our milestone. Yeah, and then yeah, until now, I mean, the rest is history. Yeah, yeah.
So this is still, you still hold the Soundscape Records as a label, as your brand.
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much
Okay.
just me. I run it by myself, but then now I have a bigger team helping me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why yeah we decided to move from like a Chinese label to what we are today. I think that one of the most important thing is I think for me I need to have that I need to see that growth, and at the same time it has to be fulfilling. It has to be rewarding. I
Yeah.
mean, in
Of
terms of
course.
what we are doing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need that so-called um, satisfaction to actually to motivate me to carry on with this. Otherwise, I can easily call it a day. Yeah. Mm.
So it
Mm.
took like around
Yeah.
10 years. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
More or less.
how does the Malaysian music scene change during those period? Are they like the
I think for, yeah. I think let's
yeah,
go
go
back
ahead,
a bit
sorry.
to the to what we, yeah, to what we did. Early on, I was telling you that we had problem like getting the kind of recognition from the Malay and English community, right? But I'm not sure whether I should use this word, but ironically, when we started promoting this mm, international artists, um, we kind of like I don't know. I mean, somehow they maybe we have done something that they've been longing for because they want to see all these international artists play in Malaysia. So after we started, bringing in all these foreign acts, we kind of like get slowly getting recognized by all these like the Malay and the English speaking community. So I mean, probably we have done something right. We managed to kind of like to fulfill the kind of market demand. Yeah, that
Yeah.
not other promoters are doing at the time. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from the year that we brought in the band, the Australian band 33 until now, it's already almost 25 years. Yeah, since we
Yeah.
first brought in the first international artist. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's kind
So,
of like a roller coaster ride because as you know, dealing with I mean booking international artists is like something that I think you mentioned in your question that it's more like a gambling. Yeah, because you have to put in
yeah.
your own money. You have to hope for people. I mean, to get all the tickets. And then so that you can either break even or make a profit out of it. So it's pretty much like a gambling. Yeah, for me. But then I remember one of my friends told me that you are indeed a gambler, but you gamble in a very
Right.
serious way. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of funny
Yeah.
to actually to yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I think the reception grows from wider community, from wider music community is it's like some natural because you're growing as well, right? Because your bands, your
Mm,
capacity is bigger and bigger, so it it absorb more people, and then from different kind of demography in Malaysia. So um after that, what's the challenge that in from Malaysian market, either it's from government regulation or the cultural background, because I know there's problem with those, in Malaysia and Indonesia and some
Mm, mm,
highly say conservative countries in Southeast
yeah,
Asia. Um, what are the how you navigate those? Because sometimes I feel like you're walking on the road with not full, but they are broken glasses. Because if you take the wrong step, then you'll get hurt, and that's kind of a theme in our countries.
yeah. I mean, people always say that um, that you have to work in a very like restricting environment. Um,
Yeah,
there's a word for that, like when the top gets going. How do you say that again?
yeah. So how do you
Yeah.
navigate that? Because it's from Indonesian perspective. When I used to live in Indonesia, we don't really have that much of uh like okay, these special metal bands, they plan to come to Indonesia, and then they canceled because of government action, because of the policy, of because of the rejection from, say, conservative society. But we hear some of those happen in Malaysia. I think it's in the during around mid 2000, I believe.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. There was I think there was a major clampdown on mostly metal bands. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. By the
Uh,
government. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why. Because maybe because of the um, religion issue, or just maybe during that time, there were a lot of like um, the political situation was very like unstable. They try to actually divert the attention. Yeah. So they kind of like yeah,
okay.
they did a few gigs. Yeah, one of them was yeah, on the eve of the festival that we did in 2006. There was a gig that was held in the an underground venue called Horse Place. I think there were some Singaporean bands that came, and then together with maybe some one Indonesian band as well that play at the gigs. So I think the audience, I think it was about 300 people at the gig, and then just out of nowhere, the cops came and then raided the gig, and then took everyone to the station, and then had a urine test or something like that. It was a big issue, yeah, yeah, big issue, and then
Okay.
yeah, after that there
So
was a few, yeah.
that was one in a lifetime event. So it's not like regularly happen.
It was quite. It happened once in a while. Yeah, once in a while. After that
Oh, okay.
incident, there was like a big clampdown in the northern part of Malaysia, like states in Kedah, or even in Penang. They clamped down a lot of metal shows. Yeah, I heard some of the
What is that? Is
shops.
it in Sarawak part or in the mainland?
I know the northern part of Malaysia, like Kedah,
Ah,
Penang.
okay,
Yeah, the northern region.
that's
Yeah,
that's mainland. Yeah. What is it?
peninsula, yeah, peninsula of Malaysia. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
peninsula. Okay, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Mm.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, they claimed down a few shows. It just so like ridiculous that they label all those gigs as a Satan worshipper, because they think that they kind of like follow what the Western, especially the death metal band, yeah, yeah, because they
Mm.
were a lot of like yeah, ideologies, yeah, that they've got
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ideas they've got with the music,
The
all
symbols, symbolism that
yeah,
they
the
use
symbols,
is
yeah. They were
yeah,
accused of worshiping the Satan, like drinking like you know, the blood of a goat or something like that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's it's just accusation to me. Yeah, it's just like a reason for them to clamp down the gigs. It happened once in a while,
Right.
maybe every like 2 to 3 years. There was another underground venue called Rumah Api, like Firehouse. They're known as a venue that promote a lot of punk and hardcore shows. Yeah, I think they got raided a few times as well. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
It sounds bad. Okay.
I think other than that, Um, in terms of promoting international artists, we do face a lot of challenges in terms of obtaining the work permit and the performance visa for them because
Mm.
we have like um, a government body that kind of like process the work visa, and then they have set quite a strict rules, yeah, every now and then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's why I think that's also one of the reasons why I try to avoid bringing in yeah, metal or punk or hardcore bands because I kind of like refuse to go through that process. Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah, yeah, of course.
it's difficult. Yeah, to be honest. Yeah. So for me, I brought in a lot of international, I mean, instrumental artists whereby they've got no lyrics, so it's quite easy to get the clearance.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Yeah. So
This is
dance.
this was maybe 5 years ago. Yeah. So now things are getting better. I think the whole process it's can be done online, and then the approval takes about 2 to 3 weeks. I think we see a lot of improvement lately in terms of getting the work permit, yeah, for the international artists.
Right,
Probably
right,
due to the new administration. Yeah, yeah. The person in charge now, the minister in charge now, it's also part of the art scene, so he knows what are the challenges we're
right.
facing. Yeah, so we try to speed up the whole thing. Yeah, it's really easy
Yeah,
now
because
for me.
I.
I mean,
Oh, that's good. That's
mm,
good. That's good to hear. Because
mm.
I also read in a report just a few weeks ago that Malaysia is now the top destination of tourism in Southeast Asia, and then it's even you guys now being how you call it visited by tourists. The number of tourists that visit Malaysia is higher than Thailand right now, which is Thailand is like undisputed king of tourism, right? It's so I think and I also met with some folks from Malaysia, some sort of tourism agency, and they take a take this thing seriously. So I guess that's part of the change that they made, and it's good to hear, of course, and it's good to hear for especially for the music scene. So
Yeah, I'm not
so
sure,
so I'm
but
glad to
because
hear.
yeah, I'm not sure about that, but some say it's because of the Chinese tourists. Yeah, so they came flooding in after COVID, and then we have this new visiting rules whereby before that people from the mainland they need to obtain the tourist visa, but now it's free. I mean, it's basically it's you can do 30 days without the visa. You can just come in. So I think
Oh,
maybe
okay.
because of that,
Yeah,
there are
that
a lot of
helps. That helps. Yeah,
Chinese
yeah, yeah.
women.
So
That includes,
so
yeah.
that's so you're booking artists and they come to Malaysia, and then you have these administration tasks needs to be done,
Mm.
which we've been discussing earlier, and then it's growing, it's getting better, and so on and so forth. So what happened when Malaysian bands going abroad?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is what people has been asking me because they said that you've been bringing a lot of international artists, but what about the local artists that you
Yeah,
used to promote, in those days? I guess even though we have been bringing a lot of international artists, but we have not neglected the local acts because, as you know, I've attended a lot of showcase festival in the
yeah,
past 5 years or so, and then by doing that, I also try to actually bring export our Malaysian artists, namely to all these festivals like Sandari, Lockfest, and even like one in Okinawa, the Music Lane Festival.
right.
So yeah, I've
Ryuji,
not
yeah.
neglected yeah, I've not neglected the local artists and always look out for opportunities to actually to showcase them to the international audience. Yeah, and also the
So
reason.
how hard is it?
Um,
How
mm,
hard is it to bring them like getting a visa or the administration to bring? Because you talk about bringing bands. coming, right? So visa requirements and all this kind of stuff. How about going abroad? Is it same challenge that you're facing, or is there any like policy, the good policy that your government has been applying that helps Malaysian bands to go abroad easier?
Yeah, I think after COVID, it's we there's a funding body called and I mean during COVID itself, there's a funding body under the finance ministry called Chandana. So they kind of like give
Oh,
up
I know that one.
they give up grants during the COVID to just to help the musicians and also the venues or the small venues to stay afloat. And then after that, there was another funding body that currently giving out all these grants. It's called My Creative Ventures. So we
Hmm.
have a mobility grant that artists that want to tour abroad they can apply. Yeah, it's an ongoing grant. There's no like closing date. So if you get invitation from any festival, you can just try to apply. Yeah. So a
Oh,
lot of artists
nice.
has
So that's
already.
I heard about Chandana. It started.
Mm.
Yeah, I started. It started before I left Southeast Asia, I believe, because I
Yeah,
remember
it
I
was
read about.
yeah,
Say
it
again.
was during Najib's time. Yeah, the former prime minister
Right,
came out.
right, yeah. Yeah, because I remember talk about Cendana to to fellow Indonesians in the industry that this is one of the model that we can emulate in Indonesia because they started and I believe they start like really small back then, and then
Yeah,
some of the folks that Malaysian folks that I talk with, they're like kind of skeptical, but then if it stays until now, then it's probably, I think it works quite well, I
I mean,
assume.
there's a change of like role, right? Because early on it was Jindana. They kind of like um, they play a very prominent role in helping the artists to pull through the pandemic. But after that, I think maybe because of some change of management and stuff like that, so my creative took over. Yeah, but still
Okay.
we have the thing. Yeah, I mean going on. Yeah. So I think you remember that we had this showcase festival, the ASEAN festival.
Yes, I'd like to ask because I know you're in the board, yeah. Actually, you're one of the founders of Axian, yeah.
Yeah. So because it's a folk showcase festival, I think the each organizers they are responsible for the artists for bringing artists from their own country. So for
Yeah.
Malaysia, because I think obviously we don't have any like sponsors, corporate sponsors for that. So we always go to this funding body actually to try to
Mm.
acquire the grant and then to send Malaysian artists to the festival. So this is like one of the ways for us to export local artists. Yeah, something
Yeah,
that we
that's
have been actively doing over the past 5 years or so. Yeah.
so. How's
Maybe I'd
Axian
like to share a bit more.
do?
I'd like to share a bit
Say
more
again.
on how to support the local artists. Yeah, because this, I mean, working with the funding body, I mean, no doubt it's like the easiest way, or I call it a quick fix,
Yeah,
right? It's so
yeah,
easy to get the grant from them. But I also want to encourage the local artists to somehow find their own ways to actually to work with like a promoter in maybe in other countries or venue owners. They can actually do this by themselves via their own resources. Yeah, you can start with like a small scale. Like for example, I mean, traveling around Southeast Asia is pretty easy.
yeah,
If you have enough like contacts or network, or even you get your friends from other countries to help you out, you could easily start like a small tour. You don't have to wait
yeah,
for I mean the funding body because there's only so much money they have actually to support the local bands. What about the smaller
yeah,
ones? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So how do you think ASEAN? uh, helping from Malaysian perspective?
I think we've been doing this. I mean, physically for 2 years already. So we had it
Yeah.
in Singapore in 2022, and then the next one was 2023, and then this year we're going to Bali.
Yeah.
Um, I would say it's I think it's a very useful or good platform for um, Malaysian artists to actually to reach out to the international delegates and also audience from particularly from Southeast Asia. So far, we do
Yeah.
have like some success stories like this band called Masdo. They played in Singapore last year, and then they got a book by this festival from in Mongolia called Playtime, and also
Oh, George. Yeah.
yeah, George Festival program, yeah,
Nice.
for this
Nice.
year. Yeah, and then there's another band
Oh, for
called
this year, that's next week. Yeah.
yeah, next week. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's another band called Golden Mammoth. They got booked by this festival in Incheon. It's a Pentapod, yeah, Incheon Pentapod Festival. So these are just some
Never
of
heard of it.
the success
Yeah.
stories that we can share. Yeah. So I
That's
guess
cool. That's cool.
playing at Showcase Festival is still one of the most effective ways to reach out to the delegates or to the the international audience. But again, it's for a band to actually to pay everything or to go there at their own expenses is still very challenging. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Of
I
course.
hope
Of
that
course.
we can still get the support from the funding body. Yeah. At the same
Yeah.
time, of course, I do say I mentioned just now that you can still do it via your own expenses, but smaller scale. But for showcase festival, obviously you need support from the government because you're traveling to like different countries. Maybe you need to stay there for like few days. You have all these expenses. Yeah, that you have to kind of like pay for yourself. Yeah. So it's better to work with a funding body for event that
Yeah.
offers certain scale. Yeah. Mm.
Because I live in the U.S., so how do you see the U.S. as a one of the steps that you Malaysian artists want to get into either now or one day? How do you see that? How how big of a gamble will it be, or do you see it at all? Like do you want it at all, or what do you think?
I mean, obviously, US is a very big market. We all know that there are plenty of opportunities there, right? But then at the same time, it's um, something that is kind of like beyond us. Yeah, because there are so many artists that they wanted to actually to kind of like explore that market. It's very
Yeah.
challenging and competitive at the same time.
Yeah.
My advice is to start with your own your region, your own region, Southeast Asia.
Right.
You should
Right.
actually to conquer at least that market before you actually looking at the bigger market as per se. But then again, if opportunity comes, because we work for ASEAN, we actually work with this agency called Jaded. Not sure if you've heard of
Mm.
them. Jaded, they kind of like um, they work very closely with South by Southwest. So every year they will book
Oh,
some artists that perform at ASEAN and they will send them to South by Southwest. So one of the
that's
Malaysian
nice.
artists, name is Shahil. He's kind of like the electro pop artist. So he got to play at South by Southwest for like maybe two times already. So for that
Oh,
kind of
that's nice.
opportunity, there's no reason to pass on, right? But
Yeah.
for me, it's difficult if as a band that you want to plan your own tour and then to go to US, you need a lot of financial support, especially if
Yeah.
you are unknown, totally unknown there. So it's something that you have to think twice before you decided to actually to go there. Yeah, yeah. So I said, I mean. start with Southeast Asia, or maybe you can go to countries like Japan or Taiwan or even Korea.
So yeah, so I saw one of uh, the gallery of past ASEAN festival, and I saw James was there, James Miner from
Yeah.
South by Southwest. So kind of okay, this must be something that they can do together. I mean, there must be a reason why you guys invite James, right?
Mm, yeah. I think for James, he's very open to have like Southeast Asian artists on the lineup, and
Yeah,
I think I also see that every year they would have some artists from the region, especially like people like Effect Roma Culture that played there before,
yeah,
and even for I think this year they have a reality club, a few Indonesian artists, and there are some
okay,
Malaysian artists played there as well. But like I mentioned earlier, because South by Southwest is huge. They have like what like almost 100 stages, and then there
yeah,
are
it's
other like
really big.
programs
Yeah,
too big. I mean, to get a notice at the festival, it's kind of like challenging. It's more like an experience for them to actually to see how the festival was organized, to meet
yeah.
people, to try to create like a network. Hopefully in the future they get to go there again through their through the contacts they have established at the festival. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So did you get any input from him? Like, how does what's I don't know what's his comment about Southeast Asia scene. I don't know if this is proper question, but I'm just curious.
Mm, I think he did mention like a few artists, Southeast Asia artists that played there, especially the guy that told you, the Malaysian artist, Shahil, yeah, the electro pop artist, and then I think he gave like really good comment about his performance and stuff like that. I think if I'm not mistaken, last year they met in Taiwan at one of the, I think it probably GMA also. So Shahil has
Yeah,
a small gig at one of the venues, and then he invited James to go over to see him. I think there's a kind of a connection there they're having now. Yeah, yeah. I
that's cool.
mean,
That's cool.
me and James is very very receptive towards Southeast Asian artists or any artists that are willing to play at the festival. Yeah, I think musically
Right.
they're very open. Yeah, yeah.
How about other market? Europe, for
I think
example,
Malaysian artists
the
they always
UK.
want to explore the Japanese market. They always want to
Oh,
go to Japan,
Japanese.
and yeah, but then uh, again, I mean, Japan is probably the second largest market in the world, or maybe
Yeah,
the largest
it is.
market
It
in
is.
Asia.
Yeah,
It's so difficult, I think, because there's so many things going on there, and there's so many artists, whether it's local or international, that want to um, invade, conquer the market, to make their presence felt. So if you are okay to actually to go there at your own expenses, I say you can go, but I would say it's only for the experience. If you're totally unknown there, you can only have gain experience from the tour, and then just try to establish like as many contacts as possible. Try to make friends, and hopefully in the future you get to go there again, and then from maybe through word of mouth, the shows that you play, if you play really well, people will spread the words, right? And then probably some other organizers will think of you. Yeah, that's only how the only way to do it. Yeah, because
yeah,
unless it became like really big internationally, then the major festival will come to you. Yeah, then otherwise you just have to do it via your own, like the DIY way. Yeah,
yeah,
it's more for experience. Yeah, in short. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So, is there any like specific like genre that is it the right way to pronounce it? Genre.
Mm.
Is there
Yeah,
any
yeah.
specific genre that is like really big in Malaysia? I mean, it's
I think metal and hardcore is always big here. We have a huge
what hardcore and what?
metal and hardcore. Yeah, I think it's the
Oh,
same everywhere.
metal. Oh,
Yeah, it's the same everywhere.
oh, okay, interesting. Okay,
Yeah, um, I guess the youngster they're slowly getting like more interest in genre like hip hop and R&B, the kind of stuff. Yeah, yeah. This is what the millennials are currently listening to. Yeah. I mean, for post
so
rock,
so
that's yeah the genre. I mean, all this while, I think people we still have like kind of like a sizable audience. Yeah, yeah.
hmm.
I mean, generally people are more into like I guess hip hop has a really large community here.
So how do you choose to book international artists?
Before that, it's just my own gut feel. So people
Okay,
always say that you only bring bands that you like. Yeah, of course I did a bit of research here and there as well. But now um, I think you heard about all this the websites like Chartmetric or Vibrate, right? Where we can actually, if you subscribe to the website, you can actually check the social stats of all the artists that you want to book. So I kind of like use that as a reference. I mean, I don't trust that 100%. I just use it as a reference on how to gauge whether the band's the artist is going to do well in Malaysia or not. But mostly, I still listen to the music, and then I also check out the YouTubes. I think the music and the performance is still the most important element. Yeah, in terms of how we decide whether we want to book the bands or not. Yeah. So yeah, I will listen to the Spotify, and then for a few weeks until I convince myself that they will have like they can actually attract people to come to the show. Yeah, there are many ways of doing this, but then it's mostly based on my own judgment. Yeah, you also from the past experience, right? Yeah, so we roughly know what type of audience that will come to this particular show. Yeah. There's no like definite way to actually to say that this is
right.
100% going to be like a sold out gig. No, so you just have to um, use your own judgment. But sorry, I want to add on a bit on that also because I mean I've
Go
been
ahead.
doing this for quite some time already. So we have promoter friends from different cities, right? For example, let's say if we want to bring a band come to Asia, we will start first. We actually we talk to our promoter friends, so we kind of set up like a alliance, yeah, unofficially. Then we will try to approach this particular band, and then we send in our sometimes a joint offer to the agent, and then we see whether we can make it happen. Sometimes it's also we most of the time actually we use this as a way to actually to pull in the international artists. Yeah. So
Okay,
I mean, if other promoters it's keen, I mean they are keen on this particular artist, you know for a fact that it will probably gonna sell, right? Otherwise they won't be doing it. Yeah.
yeah,
So in a way that also help us to make the judgment. Yeah.
yeah. Back to my earlier question. There's no a particular genre that you want to bring.
Now, I mean, actually, the
So
label the label has been associated with post rock because this
okay,
I told you earlier on that the bands that we brought in after the gig, the Club 8 show in 2006. So from 2008 onwards, we brought instrumental or post-rock band like Explosion in the Sky, Ono, Mak Wai, Russian Circus, Toe, and many more. They are all in a way categorized as either post-rock or instrumental rock or math rock, right? So yeah, in a way, I think it just happened by chance. Um, I don't restrict myself to a particular genre, but because the bands that came, the opportunity that came during that time was most of them was post rock bands. So it just happened like that. Yeah. So from there on, we a lot of people like call us like this is like Soundscape is post rock label. Soundscape only promote
Yeah.
instrumental band. Yeah, but actually for us, um, we want to have more like diversity in terms of the acts that we book. Like true enough, we do have like some like non-post rock band, just to name a few, like Kings of Convenience, like War Pain, the female band from US. And then we also book people like Hula Shaker and
Mm.
Taiko. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
So what is the next project? I know you are busy now because I try to book you for this session. What are
So,
you currently do now?
um, we kind of like going through like after COVID, right? Things back to normal. The live concerts sectors reopen, and then people are like really excited. They want to go out and yeah, craving for shows. I think we had like there was like a hike from early last year, 2003 until like early this year. I think we did a lot of shows, yeah, and then the response was really good, yeah, overwhelming, I would say. But then the last 2 months or so, we kind of like observed there's a change in terms of um, people buying tickets to concerts. It kind
Mm.
of like reaching a saturated point, even though we are still doing it very rapidly. We have, um, if not one, maybe two shows in 1 month. International artists. We book like two or
Wow.
three acts,
Okay.
uh,
Damn.
whether it's small or big. Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like
In what
it's very
capacity? What? How big is the audience usually?
from 300 to 1,000. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So it's probably the most busiest time for us. Yeah, I mean comparing to the previous years. So this year is kind of like
Okay.
we're having a very hectic schedule. But then after this, I wanna I wanna kind of like slow down a bit because I already see I think the live music scene is slowly declining. Maybe you just have to give it like a break, like for a while, like maybe 6 months, or it's either people are getting a little bit fatigued, going to gigs, or
Yeah.
maybe just financially they just couldn't afford anymore. So I see that even I mean Coachella this year, I heard the ticket sales was not doing well. Yeah, and yeah, so it's good to have to take a short break after this. Yeah, yeah. I'll have one more
Right.
in
Right.
November. Yeah, I'm doing a orchestra show for Mono, the Japanese post-rock band, and after that,
Mm.
a short break, and also in between, I will have a lot of traveling as well. Like I told you, be attending some showcase festival, and also we'll be busy working on the ASEAN in Bali later in November. I mean, sorry, September. Yeah,
September. Yeah. September this year. Yeah.
yeah. So I want to take a bit of time out my schedule to actually to go back to um, releasing some albums. Yeah, I'll be releasing like a vinyl for local ambient electronica artist called Flickr. Yeah. So this is something that I wanted to do. Yeah, to go back to our um, if you want to call it our roots. Yeah, just try to promote some albums by yeah our local artists. Mm,
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's in the busy time because I started this project almost exactly 1 month ago. 25th of May, I launched the website, and then it's
Mm.
kind of challenging to book uh, our friends because I didn't realize that most of the people that I want to invite to this podcast are actually festival owners, festival directors, and now it's a festival season. So everyone was like, "Dude, come on, man! I'm busy. I have festivals to do in
Totally,
a
totally.
week."
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's so I do appreciate that spending sometimes with me here, and it's been a pleasure to
Right,
hear
that's
what's
the part of this. Yeah. Because I checked
say again.
the podcast you did with Hi and Orbis. I thought it's really interesting. Yeah, a lot of insights, a lot of information. Yeah, about what they've
Yeah,
been doing.
that's the thing with that's the thing with this podcast. I'd like to dig as deep as possible because nobody dig this deep before. So I think there's a lot of lessons that we can learn from people like Orbis, like yourself, like Pi. Orbis has been doing this for like, I don't know, 20 years as well. And he built
Yeah.
that legendary The Wall, and then Taiwan is really interesting place too. So I
Mm.
think I got a Grammy winning producer previously before this, and I learned like, oh my god, who talk about this? Is anyone out there talking about this? Because I'd like to
Mm.
achieve those in this website. I don't really at this point. I don't care about the audience. If I can change one person's life, then I'm successful. So I think I'm
Awesome.
going to go with
Yeah.
that first with quality, the in depth, and then let's see how this can go because your podcast will be here forever. So I can
Mm.
promote your podcast forever. Like in 3 years, I can say, look, Mark told me this 3 years ago.
Mm.
He know this. He recognized this already. So I'd like to get uh, I'd like to have that archive, and then I can just I don't know. Yeah, so it's like I said, it's been a trip so far. It's really great. I wish I can start this earlier, but it's all good. It's all good.
Never too late, man. Never too late. I think probably this is the best time after the comeback, right, from COVID. I think people have been busy doing stuff. Yeah, maybe it's time for us to actually to sit down and think about this whole thing again. Hey, we have come this far.
Yeah,
Maybe it's about to sit down and start thinking what's next, right? Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that crossed my mind too because I was planning to start a Indonesian music export. That was the first ideas of this project.
Mm.
And then I talked with several folks because I don't live in Indonesia anymore. I need a partner in Indonesia, right? So I talked with several people, and then I just don't. I don't think that works. I don't think that method works. I want to do this. Oh, that's not fine. Really? So I decided to go with my own, and then let's see how
Mm.
far this can go, and then let's see who else I can like, hey, let's join the band, and then
Mm.
let's charge. So I just started this, and then with my own money, with my own time, and then let's see how far this can go. I think so far it's been great because I didn't know how hard Pi works. He literally create a 100 pages presentation to his dad to get the permission so he can be a professional in music industry. He got an MBA, man. He has an MBA, so it's kind of, wow. Even an MBA needs to do that to his parents, and it's part of the passion that he like just stubbornly want to do this, and then he take that extra steps to get there, and it's like really inspiring. It's what Orbis did with the war. Oh man, that was so great. So yeah, and then what I learned a lot today because I don't. I mean, even if we live close by, 1 hour away, flying from where I live to Kuala Lumpur, but I only been there once. We
Mm.
almost met. Yeah, almost met, but then I canceled because because I was there for work, so I guess the
Mm.
time is just wasn't like fit. But yeah, it's great, man. And I'm happy that you find like taking it like step back a while and then thinking, and then kind of like retrospect, being retrospective, and then
Yeah, yeah. It's really important to
create
actually.
something that is fresh, that's what people need, because at this time as well in the US there's so many band that's touring. It's
Mm.
crazy to see like the band. So I live near San Francisco, and
Mm.
it's a main city in North California. So California has three parts: northern, and then I guess it's I don't know, the center, which is Sacramento, and then the south,
mm,
which is LA and San Diego. So San Francisco is the, if a band is coming to ever come to North California or California at all, they might choose San Francisco. So there's a lot of band coming here, and it's, I don't know. I need one dedicated job just to pay all those tickets because it's so many of them. I think it's people start to kind of like overwhelm with the shows or anything. I don't know,
mm,
but yeah, I get it. I get it what you're saying. So it's great that we also in the same kind of vibe right now, where we learn how to go to the next steps and doing, how to embrace and create a future. And it's so fun to have you here. So what's you have anything to share with us? What's your next, or whatever,
for future.
what's your yeah, or what's the tip if someone want to
Yeah,
play in
I mean,
Malaysia, or
after COVID, I realized that we are now targeting towards the new generation, like for the especially the millennials as per se, right? So they have
yeah,
different music tastes, and then the way they spend on concerts also like very different from our time. So I begin to realize that I cannot just do this based on my own taste and preference anymore. Because right now for me, because I'm still kind of like depending on the audience that I built from those days, um, such as the post rock audience, or the kind of the more progressive type of indie acts that I brought. This particular
yeah,
group of people, they have kind of like grown older now. They're probably in their late 30s or early 40s. They have families. They have life commitments. Um, when it comes to shows, I think they probably think twice. Of course, they're still passionate in music. They want to go out once in a while to see shows. But then, as a promoter or label, you cannot rely on this particular audience anymore, because um, soon they will get like older and running out of purchase power. Not running out of purchase power. They become like not so active in going out to concerts anymore. So you
yeah.
need to find a new audience. So right now for me, the next plan is to, in fact, it's already ongoing. I've already engaged like a new team, a younger batch of people that help me to actually to execute the live events. So I've given them the options or the free hand to select, or at least to recommend what are the artists that we should bring in next. Not only restricting to the current batch of artists that we used to promote or used to work with. So it's more like a transition period for me to actually,
Transition, right?
yeah, to, because I still want to be involved in this so-called music industry, but I want to take a back seat after this. I can become the people, the person that share my experience. I probably let them make the decision, and then I give them my opinion, stuff like that. Yeah. So the new team, slowly they will get to decide what are the new direction, yeah, that we want to head towards. Yeah. So this is already in the pipeline. Yeah. Yeah. This is something that I want to do in probably the next um, 3 to 5 years. Yeah. Because I'm not getting
Yeah,
any younger. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah.
mm,
That's yeah. I have a teenage daughter here. I ask her what's happening
mm,
now in TikTok, because I can't stand
mm,
TikTok, but I need to know what's
mm.
happening. So I ask
That
my daughter,
was.
like, what's happening here?
Mm,
Do you know this? Do you know that? Because I don't know.
mm, yeah.
Yeah, that's we our time is come. I need to step back and then be the thinker now, and then be wise
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, it's good to hear that, man.
I mean, by looking at the lineup of all the major festivals now, such as Coachella or even Summer Sonic, you can tell that the bands that we used to listen to, they are kind of like slowly, phase out.
Yeah.
So a new
Yeah.
batch, a new generation of artists is like slowly taking over. In fact, most of them they're headlining all the big festivals. So we can tell that
Yeah.
the trend is getting like very different. Yeah, I think
Right.
as a
Yeah.
promoter, it's
Yeah.
quite important for us to stay relevant. Yeah, in this time.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good. Like, I think we're going to close this conversation. It's been a pleasure to have you here, bro.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I really appreciate. Yeah,
Oh, of course, of course. Same. Yeah, and then yeah, I wish you a good luck, and then stay in touch. I'll keep you. I'll keep you update with the publishing time. I guess it's going to be published next week on Tuesday, and then
yeah.
I'll update you with stuff.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. Yeah, somewhere,
Yeah,
sometime, yeah, maybe we get
yeah,
a
yeah. Of
chance to
course.
meet. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
All right, man.
Everything.
So
All the best, man. All
yeah,
the best.
yeah,
Yeah. Keep in
yeah, man.
touch.
You
Yeah.
too. Yes, please.
Thanks
Bye,
so
bro.
much, man. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye, bye.